Hello everyone, I'm Harris, Director of Business Development at Code and Theory, a part of Stagwell, coming to you from Stagwell's content studio at the Las Vegas Convention Center floor for CES. I'm joined by Joanna Lepore, Global Director of Foresight and Capabilities Exploration at McDonald's. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure. So I would imagine with a title like that, CES is obviously an amazing place to explore. Specifically, what are you looking to sort of get here while you're here, and how do you feel like that will ultimately help transform your business?
Well, you're absolutely right. You know, when you think about CES, it's all about what's coming in the future, and future is a running theme throughout the entire event. And you know, the future is made up of technological innovation. So it's a perfect place for us to have a look at how things are evolving in the technological space. But probably more than anything for me, it's about finding the themes behind what we're seeing. So more of the why or the how, the enablers of people coming together through connection, or the enablers of more immersive moments and experiences. So it's a great opportunity for me to think about how, you know, cooking is evolving inside of the home, how is technology evolving the restaurant experience, the back of house kitchen experience, and also just how are people embracing new forms of technology based on what's being innovated in and what's being launched. So from what we hold to what we wear to the technology that surrounds us. So seeing that evolution over time is a big part of what we do in Foresight. So looking back, you know, 20 years, 30 years to when the iPhone came out, how are things different, and then where are they headed into the future. So it's a great place to not only see that, but to also observe how it's being presented, and to think about what's going to be really adopted and what's going to grow with consumers.
Sure. And all things considered that you just mentioned, how do you feel like that will ultimately, really impact, what you're looking to do in the next few years?
Tremendously. So we often talk about the core human needs and behaviors that are constant, that don't change, or the key motivations for why people need what they need, and therefore how is that being enabled or enacted inside of the world through technology and through innovation. So we've highlighted sort of 5 key areas for our business to focus on in the mid to long-term horizon that we're sort of deploying and gaining, greater awareness in the business of what we should be focusing on. One of the big areas is what we call friction-free living. And that is definitely something that's enabled through seamless technologies, like, how Matter is starting to be leveraged by a number of different companies inside of the home. So it's definitely, for us, it's about really, thinking about where we should be investing ahead of the curve. And when we're talking about ahead of the curve, most companies focus on 1 to 2 years, generally 1 year planning. We're doing planning for 5 and 10 years out. So that is definitely a space where we need to be thinking about pilots, exploration, experimentation. So some of these technologies are not going to be implemented and deployed on scale, en masse in the next few years. But that's exactly the types of things that we need to be paying attention to see where we should be investing ahead.
And thinking about that sort of 5 to 10 year runway or landscape, any specific technologies top of mind, anything you're seeing on the floor that you really feel like is really going to drive that goal that you just described?
Yeah, I mean, I think that a couple of like big running themes that I'm starting to see through CES. One is about how technology is integrated. So how are different devices talking to one another to create more of an experience for people? All of these displays, like the Amazon display inside of the home, where you can see it's not just one device or one technology, it's how they work together.
Certainly.
Another thing that I think is really interesting is thinking about health and all of the devices that we're seeing around health tracking, health monitoring, and even some of the technology that's doing it for your pets.
Yeah.
So one of the ones that I loved, and I visit everything to do with pets because I've got a dog, and I miss my dog dearly being young.
Yes.
Yeah. One of them was, you scan your dog's face and it kind of measures its eye health and its skin health and its hair health. So how could that apply to people further down the line, where you could just take a photo of you and I could say,
that's great, yeah,
maybe you're a little bit tired today.
Yes, that would be certainly the read it would be giving me today, yes.
You need a McCafe coffee, yeah. So thinking about health and how technology is playing a role in that. And then the other thing is immersive experiences, right? So, I mean, when we're thinking about the technology that's coming in the living room, inside of TVs, but even beyond that, how haptic technology is enhancing experiences, how the use of sound, directed sound is playing a role inside of creating a more immersive and more memorable experience. McDonald's is all about creating more memorable moments. So how do we bring that into either the brand association from a marketing perspective or inside of the restaurant?
Okay, well, thank you so much. That was fantastic. Really helpful information. And thank you so much for your time. And for those tuning in online, thanks again.